Hello preschool friends, welcome back to my home for story time. So this week we are learning all about baby animals. So I have chosen a very special book that's one of my favorites, and it's about a sweet little sheep right here named Finn. And the neat thing about this book is that the illustrations are actually real photographs. So the people who wrote and illustrated this book are John and Jennifer Churchman. And they live, this is their farm that they're actually writing about in their book in a little town called Essex, Vermont. So the title of this book is Brave Little Finn. So let's take a look. Brave Little Finn. Oh, and Brave Little Finn actually signed this book. That's his real hoof print. Isn't that neat? Okay, so here we go. One cold winter morning, a shy little lamb was born. "We'll call you Finn," said Farmer John. He held Finn close, keeping him warm inside his green barn jacket. Finn had been born early and wasn't as strong or as big as the other lambs. He shivered against the icy wind as they made their way up the hill to the warm farmhouse. Farmer John whispered in his soft, fuzzy ear, "Be brave, little Finn. We're all here for you, always." Finn's big sister, Sweet Pea, visited him every day, even when it was windy and cold. She would put on her favorite wool scarf and come up to the farmhouse to see how he was doing and tell him all the barn news. Little Finn spent his days by the warm fireplace, and he made friends with the dogs and a new puppy. While living inside, he had to wear a diaper. Finn thought he might look silly, but all the dogs agreed that he looked quite nice. Isn't that funny? Farmer John fed little Finn from a baby bottle. Macy Grace, the border collie puppy, taught him how to drink from it. On sunny days, he enjoyed curling up on a bed of hay in the greenhouse. As winter turned to spring, little Finn grew stronger and stronger. One morning, he was finally ready to go outside and meet the other lambs. Finn was feeling nervous. What if no one liked him? "Be brave, little Finn," said Macy Grace. "I'll be here with you." Atticus, Meadow, and Hazel were excited. They could not wait to meet Finn and hear all about being raised in the farmhouse. They planned to show him the drinking pond first, and then all around the pasture. First, the lambs stopped at the pond for a drink. Finn bent down for a sip of cool water, but was startled by a pair of bright green eyes looking back at him. What was that? Do you see this? What is that? It's a frog. Keeper the goose was floating nearby. "Little Finn," she honked, "don't worry. That's just a pond frog staying cool in the shade. He sings his beautiful songs for us each evening." Next, little Finn's new friends took him to the lilac bush. Hazel and Meadow loved the lilacs and munched, but Finn was unsure. He had never eaten anything purple before. What if they taste bad, he worried. "They're so sweet," said Meadow, her mouth full of purple flowers and green leaves. "Please try some, Finn. They're a special spring treat," said Hazel. He took just a tiny nibble. They were delicious. You may see some purple lilacs in your neighborhood. They smell really good. The next morning, little Finn felt something wet and cold on his wool coat. It was raining. He was scared. What should he do? Where should he go? He did not like being wet. Puddle the duck was out early, splashing and flapping. "Come and play with me in the fresh rain," she quacked happily. Finn headed out to play with her. He was surprised. Splashing in the rain really was fun. When summer came, the whirring and buzzing sounds in the air worried little Finn. He carefully stepped through the garden flowers. The butterflies were beautiful, but the hummingbird had such a long pointy beak, and he had heard that bees could sting. He saw his friend Atticus, who had stopped to nibble a rose. "No, don't need to be worried about the things that fly around and buzz, little Finn, said Atticus. They pollinate the plants, which helps Farmer John grow flowers, fruits, and vegetables. Finn looked up and smiled. See? Lots of different things flying around, but nothing to be afraid of. Come see the big round bale of hay, the lamb said excitedly. In the fall, we'll play lamb on the mountain to see who can climb to the top. All the lambs loved watching Macy Grace jump from one bale to the next. Oh my, worried little Finn, I could never climb that high. But fall was still weeks away. He hoped he would be brave enough by then. One morning, little Finn looked out the barn door and noticed something new. A hat. The hat had not been there the night before. He quickly turned around and went back inside the barn and would not come out. Sweet Pea loved hats of all kinds. Wearing her favorite bonnet, she gently urged little Finn to come out. Finn cautiously tried on the straw hat. This isn't so bad, he thought, and he felt quite grown up. Have you ever seen a lamb in a hat before? Isn't that silly? Early the next day, while taking a morning walk with Lady the sheepdog, little Finn noticed a large web. Then he saw a spider. Spiders are so scary, Finn whispered to Laddie. There's no need to fear Miss Spider, said Laddie. She's an artist weaving her web. Look how pretty it is. Little Finn studied the intricate web sparkling with morning dew, and he was not so afraid anymore. See the spider? She's working very hard on her web. Finn peered into the darkness of the old barn and saw something else strange. Was that a monster hiding in there? He ran as fast as he could and bumped right into Sadie the pony. Sadie gave a soft neigh. Oh, little Finn, that's just old Ford the tractor. He's resting in the barn after a long summer of farm work. He pulls the wagon that holds all of our hay for winter. Finn loved eating hay. He stayed away from old Ford. One cool fall night, little Finn could not sleep. Soon it would be time to climb the big round bale of hay. He didn't feel ready. Even the sky looked scary. As the full moon rose high, Finn saw it get covered by a dark shadow. His knees started to quiver. Why is the moon getting dark? He whispered to Grandfather Snow, the wise old ram. That, my young Finn, is a lunar eclipse, said Grandfather Snow. You are a lucky lamb to be awake for this, and this rare and wonderful sight. I don't feel lucky, said Finn. I'm afraid of everything. But what happens when you get scared? My friends are there to help me, said Finn. Grandfather Snow smiled and drifted off to sleep. See, whenever he's been scared, his friends have been right there for him. Tomorrow was a big day. Finn was still nervous, but he knew he would have to try his best. He thought about all his friends, especially Macy Grace and Atticus, and how they would all be cheering him on. Finn felt just a little bit brave. When morning arrived, everyone was very excited. Macy Grace, Laddie, Siri, and Quinn had come down to watch. Hazel cried, "Everyone gets a turn! All the lambs tried and tried, but no one could make it to the top." Little Finn tried too. "You can do it, Finn," called his friends. He took a deep breath and ran and leaped and dug his hooves in. He made it all the way to the top of the big round bale of hay. He did it. Look how happy and proud he looks. "You are the brave and mighty little Finn," all his friends cheered. That night, as he enjoyed his bedtime snack and lay down to sleep in the barn with his friends all around, little Finn remembered the promise Farmer John had whispered in his ear. "Be brave, little Finn. We're all here for you, always." He felt very brave and loved because he knew it was true. His friends would be there for him, and he would be there for them too. The end. So I hope you enjoyed that sweet story about brave little Finn and all of his friends on the farm. So I will be back tomorrow to read you another story, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.